The minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has petitioned the Inspector General of Police to investigate Constable forcing a police officer he accuses of assaulting him during Monday's Save the Judiciary demonstration. The Afutu MP is also demanding disciplinary action against the officer. He made the request in a formal letter addressed to the IGP's office today. The lawmaker insists the IGP must address the incident to correct misleading narratives circulating in the public domain. This follows the police's publicized invitation to the minority leader to assist investigations regarding the viral video showing him knocking on an officer's head during the protest. In a press release dated May 5, the police confirmed reviewing the footage of the alleged assault and had written to the Speaker of Parliament requesting Afenyo-Markin's release to aid investigation. However, shortly after the police invitation, Afenyo-Markin also refuted the claims that he assaulted an officer, instead alleging that he was the one attacked by the said constable. And Denis Wadem is with me in studio to just run through exactly how the issues are played out over the period. Dennis, there was a video which we have a copy of. If you go on our Facebook page at 3FM927, you will see it. But essentially, what is the police's import on this, and why Afenyo-Markin is also reacting this way?
Well, so that video had become very popular, like you mentioned, on social media. And just to give our listeners a sense of what that video contains, you would find that there was a scuffle between the minority leader and a police officer. You would find in that video, depending on the angle that you see, you would see the hand of the minority leader hit the head of the police officer. Now, we would later learn from the account of the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, that video that we are seeing was being put out in a certain way, and that it was a twist of the narrative, and that in the circumstances, he was not the one who was the aggressor, and that it was the police officer who actually attacked him. He gives an account of how it all happened, how they went to the Supreme Court to give a petition, and when they got to Parliament House, that was where the incident happened. He gave an account as to where exactly he alleged the police officer hit him and how he nearly collapsed. He had to lean against a wall to regain his composure before he could continue. At a point, he even said he was given water by a national service person and all that. If you read that statement of his, which he issued yesterday, it gives a vivid narration of what he says is the event that took place yesterday. He also went on to say that he had to do so because of how the facts were twisted in the public to make it seem like he was the one who was the aggressor, but that it was rather the police officer.
The office of the special prosecutor.
He actually made a call that police officer needed to be investigated, or the incident needed to be investigated, and then the police officer would face disciplinary actions. He did indicate in that statement that he was going to file an official complaint at the IGP for the investigation to be done. And subsequent to that, he indeed did, officially to the IGP, attaching that document where he narrated what he says at the incident of that particular event as part of the document that the police would use to start the investigations. Now, the interesting thing is that while all that was happening, the police issued a statement. I think the police even issued a statement earlier than we had seen the statement from Afenyo-Markin. And the police statement was simply to the effect that they had also seen the video in circulation and they had taken interest in it. They had looked at several video footage, and then they had made requests to the speaker for the minority leader to be released for him to assist in investigating the matter. It's more like a petition and a cross petition. So while the minority leader was alleging that the police officer actually attacked him, when you read the police statement, you would find that they seem to be suggesting that what they saw in there was rather an attack on the police officer, which they wanted to investigate and get to the bottom of the matter. So essentially, that's the bottom line, or that's how the matters have unfolded just within yesterday after the demonstration. That's the Save the Judiciary demonstration, which happened yesterday. The police have also been addressing this matter not long ago. And I'm sure you have that.
Yes, the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, Lydia Donko, is saying the decision follows a thorough review. As you indicated, they reviewed the video footages and eventually, as you also reference, written to the Speaker, inviting Afenyo-Markin to answer some questions.
I believe that we also, or there are videos in social media about an altercation or confrontation that happened during the demonstration. We captured it on our lenses as well. So it's a matter of investigation. If it's an assault, if it's a tussle or a confrontation, whatever it is called, it has to be investigated. So we've commenced that investigation. We've written to the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament because he's a sitting member of Parliament. We've identified the police officers who were on duty at the scene. We have taken statements and we'll definitely update you in due course. Thank you very much.
So that's the police's account of what happened and what the details of what they've revealed so far.
Yes, precisely so. They seem to have taken serious view of this particular matter, and as they've clearly indicated, it's a matter that they're looking into. I mean, they couldn't disclose a lot more because, as she rightly pointed out, it's a matter of investigation which they are still working on. But this certainly has become a very controversial matter on social media, depending on the kind of footage that you are seeing, because there are some videos in circulation where people have started to scrutinize the videos closely to see if they can see really what the minority leader has described, because he seemed to have said a lot of things that clearly, if you were not on the ground or if you're not part of people who are around, you wouldn't be able to see what he did said. But the interesting thing about it is that he makes mention that some senior police officers were around to corroborate what he is saying, and that when the matter comes for investigation, he's sure all these people will come around to testify in that particular regard. Alfred.
Denis, I appreciate you for this, and let's stay a bit further on this matter. Richard Kumadoe is a security consultant. He's joining us on the telephone for a quick conversation on this. I appreciate you for your time, Mr. Kumadoe. This is a matter I know you've been following quite closely and how it's been unfolding over the last 24 hours. The police CID says they're already reviewing the various footages from different angles. They have also indicated, written to the Speaker of Parliament, requesting that Afenyo-Markin be questioned on this. Which areas should be of interest in investigating this matter?
I think one, they'll be looking for a misconduct, not just the frontliners, but any other person in the line. And they'll also be looking at the particular issue that has constituted an attack on the officer or an attack on the state. The point has to be made that when it comes to demonstrations such as the one we are talking about, the police have the opportunity of having a lot of cameras around. And those cameras have the capacity of capturing images and voices and actions and activities of a whole lot of people, including the police officers themselves. If it is true that the police have reviewed and they have come to a conclusion that one of their own has been attacked or assaulted, then I don't think the police will need a permission from any landlord to arrest anybody who has come under investigation notice. So that is the procedure. And we should not be dragging this among ourselves and be fighting among ourselves.
Saying that, the Afenyo-Markin also has a different narrative of exactly what happened, and beyond what we're seeing in the videos that's gone viral. Because in his view, the videos capture the scenes from a particular angle and from a particular point, which does not capture the full complement of the incidents of the day.
Yes, so in law enforcement procedure, before the police said we are inviting you for investigation, it means that they have deduced some level of evidence of a crime being committed or an intention. And so that is the procedure. If the police is saying that you are being invited for investigation in a particular crime, particularly when a crime is being reported to have been committed, it means you have come under crime notice, and you have come under investigation notice, and you have come under police notice. So that is the way it is. So that is the point I'm making, is that the police have enough cameras on the ground, and for police to issue a letter inviting a particular person within an actionable area to have come under crime notice, it means that the police have done their job. If they haven't done it, then it's a different question. But to the extent that the police is inviting you, it means that there's a charge for you to answer. And we will need to wait for him to respond to the police, make himself available to the police for that level of interviewing or the engagement.
I do appreciate your time, Mr. Kumadoe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alfred.
He is a security consultant following this case quite closely. Let's still stay with the police. They say that they are ready to provide security for the Electoral Commission to complete the collation and declaration of parliamentary results in the Ablekuma North constituency. Bear in mind that the Ablekuma North constituency is not represented in Parliament. They do not have an MP. As we speak, at a news conference, Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department, Lady Adonko, stated that once the Electoral Commission signals readiness to proceed, the police will not hesitate to offer the necessary security support.
The election collation, as Director of Public Affairs said, if the EC is ready, we are always ready to provide the security. So I believe that they will take it up with the Inspector General of Police, but the service is always ready to provide the needed security support for any exercise, whether it's the EC or any other institution.